Hi, I'm Carter Wilson, best-selling author and writing coach, and welcome to Motivations for Writers. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of being visible as a writer and what that actually means. The truth is, you have to be visible if you're going to be a writer. That is just the reality. Being visible isn't about looking perfect, being polished. It's about showing up. And I think a lot of writers are waiting. They're waiting until the book is better, waiting until they're published, waiting until they feel more confident, waiting until they feel ready to be seen. And the issue is that when you wait like that, that waiting can last years. And all the while, no one's paying attention to your work because they don't know who you are. I mean, sure, there was a time when writers could stay invisible. Absolutely. You could write a great book, hand it off, and let the work speak for itself. But I think that time is over. I've been seeing it evidenced over and over the past 2 to 3 years. And I know that's not what writers necessarily want to hear because most of us got into this thing to write, not to be seen. Not to put ourselves out there, not to feel exposed. I mean, a lot of us are introverts. We don't want to be on display to the world. We like the quiet part of this, the private part, the part where it's just us and the story. I mean, that's totally me, for sure. The hour a day that I spend writing 7 days a week, that is when the phone goes off and I just dial in and I'm excited because I'm alone with my story and I get to see what happens next. But the reality in this day and age is that writing that great book is now the minimum requirement we have to do as writers. Writing that great book maybe gets you that agent, maybe even gets you that book deal. Gives you a shot. But I can promise you, writing a great book is not going to build a career. Because there are a lot of great books out there. Absolutely. How many of them get noticed? How many of them build a career around an author? Because if no one knows you exist, your book doesn't exist. And that's not a judgment. It's just kind of how things work these days. Publishing runs on relationships. Readers follow voices that they recognize. People support authors they feel connected to. Yes, for sure, there's some legacy authors, some franchise writers who aren't in the public eye and they still sell a lot of books. But if you are just starting on your path right now, you can't just get by handing in manuscripts. You can't get by without being seen to a certain degree. Because the thing that stands out isn't just the writing these days, it's the person behind it. And I think this is where a lot of writers put their head in the sand. They hear that and they think they need to change who they are, that they need to be louder, that they need to be everywhere, that they need to figure out all the different social media applications, that they need to perform. And I think that's the biggest misconception is you don't need to do all of those things at all. You don't need to go viral. You just need to be recognizable. You need to have a voice that goes beyond your stories. You know, a lot of writers find themselves chasing numbers when they're on social media. They're chasing followers and views and reach, hoping that there's going to be some kind of viral video of theirs that will change their book sales. And that is a lost cause to do that. Because you can go viral and still have no one who cares about your work, no one who remembers you, no one who comes back. Because viral doesn't build anything that lasts. What it does is it creates a moment and then it's gone. The attention span today is so short that one viral video is fractions of a second in somebody's consciousness. what builds a career and reputation is being seen enough times that people remember you. That's all I'm talking about. Someone sees your name and thinks, I know him. I've seen Carter's videos. I like how he talks about writing. I connect with what he says. And that kind of recognition matters more than reach. And part of that recognition comes from something a lot of writers resist. Because readers don't just connect to books, they connect to people. If they love your book, they want to know who you are. Not everything, not your entire life. And you shouldn't be putting anything out there that feels forced or uncomfortable. But readers want to know that there's a real person behind the work. Because these days with AI, every day more and more we're questioning whether things are even real. They want to know the way you think, the way you see the world, the things that frustrate you, the things that excite you, why you decided to write this particular story. That's what people connect to. And this isn't about performance. This is about presence, about showing up as yourself and deciding intentionally what parts of your life you're comfortable sharing. Because in a digital world where content is everywhere, I promise you, going forward, your presence is your currency. That's what people connect to. That's what they remember. I mean, I agree to book clubs all the time because it gives me a chance to be in front of readers who have read my work, who have engaged in my writing, and who want to talk to me, who want to make that connection with me. It's so important to put yourself out there. And I know there's resistance to that idea because it feels like pressure. It feels like, oh, there's just one more thing I have to do. One more thing you're being asked to do outside of writing that great book. But maybe you can look at it a little bit differently. Think of it as not something that's separate from your writing. Think of it as an extension of your voice. The same curiosity that makes you a writer. The same way you observe people. The same way you process emotion. The same way you notice small details. That's the thing you bring into visibility. You're not trying to impress people. You're trying to be remembered. And if you've been posting for months and nothing's happening, it's probably not because you're not talented. It's because no one can remember you yet. And that's a different problem. And fortunately, it's a fixable one. Start simple. Pick one or two places you don't hate. So for me, I like Instagram. Instagram feels happier to me than most other social media sites. Instagram is full of people who love to read books and want to hear from you. So find a place, one or two that you don't hate, and then stop trying to come up with something new every time you post. This is where a lot of writers get stuck. They think every post needs to be crazy original or insightful or different or following a current trend, and it doesn't. Talk about the same core ideas that are important to you, the same themes, the same things you keep coming back to in writing and in your life. The things that bother you, or the things you've learned, the things you're still figuring out. And it's that kind of repetition is what creates ultimate and lasting recognition. Not because you said something once, most people won't see any one post of yours. But you do the same thing enough and people will start to recognize you. That's how it sticks. So for me, I talk about writing, the process, the struggle, the psychology behind it. And it's not because I planned this out in advance. It's because it's what's interesting to me. And so I kept showing up and talking about what I actually care about. And over time, that becomes the association. That becomes the thing people connect to you. And that makes showing up easier. Because you're not guessing and you're not forcing it and you're not following trends. You're just continuing a conversation you're having with your readers. And so keep it human. Don't perform. Don't chase trends. Don't try to sound like everyone else. Because the second it feels forced, people can tell. And when people can tell, they disconnect. And this whole process that I'm talking about here today, it takes time. Just like writing, it takes time. It takes trial and error, and it takes commitment, and it takes consistency. There's no moment where everything suddenly works. There's no tipping point where it just all clicks overnight. But something does happen over time. The same people start seeing you again and again. They start to trust you. They start to feel like they know you. And so when your book comes out, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from some degree of familiarity. And that makes a difference. And that's the goal. You don't need millions of views. You just need the right people seeing you enough times that they remember you. That's what turns into readers. That's what turns into a career for you. So if visibility feels overwhelming, don't think about it as exposure. Don't think about it as marketing. Think about it as recognition. Think about it as showing up, just as you would if a small book club asked you to come over and spend an hour talking to them. Think about it as letting people see you. Not perfectly, just honestly. You don't need to go viral. You just need to be recognizable. And that starts with showing up. Just like writing, even on the days when you don't feel ready. Especially on those days.